Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Look, I want to show you what I've got. Look. Y'all know what this is. It's not turnip greens. It's not collards. It's not mustard. It's kale. And there's another green that I love. It's called rape. But these are homegrown. They were brought to me yesterday. And I am so proud to have them. And that's what I'm going to have for lunch today is some cooked kale and some cornbread. And I'll try to cook a different kind of cornbread for y'all, since just the other day I did the just regular cornbread with an egg and some buttermilk. So these have already been washed real good one time, but I'm going to put another little washing on them right before I put them actually in the pan. Y'all see my little Santa Claus I got on today? Isn't that pretty? So I'm just going to do like this and give them a little washing because they've already been washed. Let some good cold water run over them. And then I'm going to put some water in my pan and we're going to wash them and we're going to talk a little bit. Now, let me tell you something about kale that you need to know. Let me get out where I can talk to you. I'll do the legs out. Here's what you need to know. Your flower beds that you have in your yard are just sitting around doing nothing. They're just sitting there. If you would, I don't know when you got to do it, probably October, I would think. I'm getting some of the stems. This is some of the bigger stems I've gotten off of it. You can sprinkle these seeds all around. You get them at your local co-op. And you can do some turnip greens and some kale and all that kind of stuff. And it's a winter crop. It's a winter crop. And you can have some good kale all the time. I want you to look up kale. You know, I'm a firm believer in looking stuff up and see what you're getting for it, okay? Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to put this on and let it cook a minute. Because let me show you what's happening. But what we can do is you let it cook down just a little bit. And then it'll cook down and you put the rest of it in there, okay? Hannah came over a few minutes ago let me think what she did. Oh, she had a package here. That's what it was. She came to get that. And I said, come on back, baby, and eat with me. I said, I'm going to have leftover meatloaf and some cornbread and kale. That's what I'm going to have for lunch today. Meatloaf is left from the other day. Y'all saw that. Those of you who aren't seeing me, maybe you're seeing me today for the first time in like a month. Well, I just want to tell you this. I've been posting every day, just about every single day. And you're not seeing it. You have got to comment. You have got to share. You've got to like. You've got to like it. All right, I only got about an inch or two of water in there. That's all I'm going to do. If you don't do that, Facebook says, well, she doesn't like cooking with Brenda Gantt, or he doesn't like cooking with Brenda Gantt. So I'm just not going to let her come up on their feed. And that's what's happening. But you need to go to Cooking with Brenda Gantt and press follow. If it doesn't say following, that means you're not following. So you need to do that for sure. All right, I'm going to turn it on high. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt over the top. We're going to find us a top to go on it. And I'm going to put a couple of pieces of bacon. Would y'all like some bacon on yours? Here's what you can do. You can put fat back on top of it. You can put bacon. You can put ham hock. Just whatever y'all want. I'm gonna put a couple of pieces of this bacon on top. You don't have to slice it up or anything like that. I'm just gonna lay it up there. It's some good thick bacon. Like that. And all right, come over here with me. We'll look at it. All right, so that's our pot. We got it on high. We're gonna put a top on it. And we're gonna cook it down. Let me turn my light on a little bit, okay? Now, y'all want to see my Christmas tree? Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Come on in here, look. Let me take you out of your stand. Y'all don't need to be in your stand right now. Let me take you out. If I can. There we go. Woo. All right, I'm going to turn it on the reverse side so you can see. Let's see how to do that. I think I have to turn you off and then do it. Let me do it. Okay, now I got it. It looks prettier at night. There's my old Grinch somebody made me. I got this from Francie Chambers a long time ago. That's a real fern. See the little root? And she puts it on a nice hard paper, and I take it out at Christmas time. I used to teach with Francie years ago. Okay. My buffet, I really don't have decorated yet. I've got Brenda Gantt's Christmas tin out here. It's pretty, isn't it? I love it. I love tins anyway. Whoops, it's rolling away, isn't it? There we go. I think of her every time I see it. But I've got me some oranges and apples, and this is a little Christmas tree that somebody gave me, and an angel. Isn't that pretty? This is wooden that we've got. I bought that pillow. No, I don't think I did, but I believe somebody gave me that. They did. I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't buy that. They gave it to me. I brought all my plants in. Y'all know that. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'll show you this. This is special. When the children were little, let me get back to where you can see all of it. When the children were little, my grandchildren, I got a piece of that. This is like your canvas, like you paint on. It's hard canvas. And so I gave them some paint and some jewels and let them decorate everybody had to make a tree. And then I glued them to this rope on the back like that so I could make them. This is called a bell pull. They used to have them. All right, so I started with the oldest one. This is Bay's. This was in 2011, so that's been a long time ago. Here's Isabella. She's next in line. She was my second born. There's Capes. She's the middle child. There's Williams. He was just a little boy then. And there's Banks. Her, she didn't know how to do. She did more finger painting. Y'all see all that finger painting? She said, Big Mama, mine doesn't look good. I said, darling, I said, yours does look good. You were only just 2011. Heck, she's a baby. But she did it. And on this side, my mother's friend made this bell pull, and it is gorgeous. I want you to look at all the work that's in it. Look at that. That took a long time to do and a lot of skill, too. Isn't that pretty? I've got some stuff back there in the bedroom that I could show you. Anyway, I got this little Christmas tree last year. It was made for me. And look at the little, she did all that by hand. Something like wool tree. Little ornaments came with it. Turn it around. There you go, like that. And then on my table, I've got a red charger. Then I put my white plate, a white napkin, and I've got these little Christmas plates. I've got a little set. I've got a little set of that. I love these. They're so pretty. And I've got a little tiny set of this one. Isn't that pretty? A little girl walking around with a little holly on her back. She's been to the woods. Okay, now let's go over here. We'll look at this mantle. I'll show y'all my nativity. Let me turn on the light. Okay, there we go. Now then. So, on the mantle, this is the bottom of my Christmas tree. Where I had to cut my big Christmas tree off to fit. And so I just put it up there. So there is Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. There's the shepherd with his sheep. There's a cow and the angel. And they're the wise men. But we know that the wise men shouldn't be in the nativity scene. We always stick them in there. They need to be somewhere else in the house. And here's the reason. Because the wise men didn't come to Jesus until he was probably around 2 years old. And that's when the king was going to kill all the babies, because he felt threatened. And that's in all of your history books. It's Herod. King Herod. So let me sit down and I'll talk to you. So King Herod, he's going to kill all the babies 2 and under, I think it was. Yeah, 2 and under. Because he knew that this baby was born. Jesus was born. And so the wise men went and they carried in gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You've read that in your Bible where they came. And so then they were supposed to come back, and the king says, tell me when you find him. I want to go worship him too, which was a lie. He didn't want to worship him. He wanted to kill him. So the wise men were wise, okay? They did not go back to King Herod. They did not tell him where Jesus was. And they went another way. So actually, at the birth, the shepherds were there. The shepherds came. They followed the star, but the wise men were really not there. They were there 2 years later. But we just always put them down because they had a part in the Jesus's little years, his little years. So anyway, all right. So let's look at the big tree. Okay, here's my big tree. Isn't it pretty? It touches the ceiling. I've got all kind of beautiful ornaments on it. Let's go over and look at them. A lot of these. This made out of a light bulb. Old Grinch. There's a little Santa. Hannah made this years ago for me. I've got all these pretty ornaments that folks have made and sent to me. There's a Y'all Sweet Tea one that they sent me years ago. Got just regular balls. Unto us a child is born, and you shall call him Jesus. Got that. Got a moon pie one. I had these things. Let me get over here where I can show y'all. Anyway, Hannah made this cross out of corn cobs. See the back of it? She cut it down the center of it. I'll hang it up later. It won't fall down. There we go. Hannah made this for me. It's an angel out of fabric. And then the children made these little angels out of paper plates, but they were just so little. They were just tiny. Let's see who made this one. I tried to write it on the back. Kate made that one. Kate made that little angel long time ago. And all these old ornaments. Here's what I want to show you right here. There's a rolling pin. Is this? You know, this thing right here was it's called a spool. It went on these big machines where they sewed things, and it was I think thread was on it or something. And what I did is I painted skinny Santa Clauses. This one's an Alabama Santa Claus. All those spools. Some of them I've painted different things. I was trying to see a different one. I painted this on a shell. Here's a pretty ornament that somebody made me. There's my husband, George. He's on this was sent to me. It's on a piece of wood. Whoops. Anyway, that's all my ornaments I've got. There we go. I don't have any presents under it yet for the children. I hadn't started shopping yet. I made these things years ago. This is a copper, piece of copper. And what I did is I wrote like peace on earth or peace or Jesus or something like that on all the pieces of copper. And I put them on I put a little wire on it, a little copper wire. And would hang them up like that on my tree. Like that. And y'all seen my trees that I made that time. I made these, what, was it last year, year before? Y'all sent me some jewelry. There's some of you sent me all your old watches, and I made a watch tree. It's called, I named it Christmas Time, because it's time for Christmas. And that one's really pretty. Now this one is not out of jewelry. I accidentally broke a pottery bowl. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to throw that away. And I didn't. Okay, y'all, I heard the stuff in here boiling. Look how it's cooked down. It was at the top of the pot. And now it's way down here. So we can put on the rest of our kale now. And we're going to go in the den and look at those decorations. Okay, look at our kale now. I went over to the sink and I got the rest of it and piled it up again. See, this is how you have to do it. You have to let some of it cook down and then you can do this. And also, you know, I didn't put but about 1 inch of water in it, and you need to have allowed about a couple of inches. So I'm gonna put one more thing of water. I'm gonna take that stem right there out. I guess I missed it. All right. Now, that's it. That's all you do. You got your water. You've got your a little grease, bacon, ham, or something in there. You can put olive oil if you choose. I'm gonna put just a tad more salt, and I'm gonna put I'm gonna put a top on it. I'm gonna turn. That doesn't fit. Wait a minute. Let me get me another top. Let's see if this will fit. Yep, that fits. Okay, so I've got it turned down to 4, and that's all it is to it. All you have to do now is to just sit around and wait on it to be done. It'll be so good, and we're gonna go in here and look at the white Christmas tree, and then later on we'll cook some cornbread. I'm gonna show y'all how to make a good cornbread and a different cornbread, and you will have kale, leftover meatloaf, and cornbread for lunch. How's that sound? So stick with me. All right, let you look at this table. I want to show you something a bit. Got a little gingerbread runner right here on it. And then this is what I want to show you. I showed it to you last year, but I got so many new followers. This is a Santa Claus that it's paper mache. Paper mache. And they used to have candy in it. And no telling how old this thing is. I mean, I'm telling, it's probably at least 60 years old, or older than that, probably, maybe 75. Right out here, I made these little Santa Clauses, just out of little pieces of wood. They're just some scrap wood we had. And I cut them off different heights and made little Santas. And then somebody gave me this pretty little candle holder, and I need to put a candle in it. Oops, got so much sitting around. And I made these trees, little Christmas trees. It's hard to see them in it. There we go. And threw a little snow on, so the Santas could be standing in that. And I made this little Santa long time ago. I'm talking about back in the 80s, I guess. And I made this one. He just sits flat like that. See how he's sitting? I guess I didn't date anything. Y'all, when you're doing something like this, you're supposed to always date your work. If you make something, you need to put your date on it. And I didn't. But anyway, all right, here's my white tree. Right there, let me get back where you can see it as a whole, like that. Okay, there you go. There's my white tree and my churches, and these are some hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas, and these I planted them, and they're blue. But when I dried them, then I spray painted them with a little white paint so they wouldn't look blue. I didn't want them to be blue. And here's our churches we've got. This one fell off and broke part of my thing. You may see an ornament on here that you've given me, because most of these were given to me. All these crocheted snowflakes and just all kinds of little things. Got this one just the other day. It's on a piece of wood. Let me see if I can stick him back up there. I may quit touching these things. That's what my problem is. I keep touching them. I'll have to put it back up in a minute when I got 2 hands. All right, and these right here, a lady gave me a whole box of those. This is made out of paper right here. Isn't that pretty? That's an angel made out of a songbook. in churches, and angels made out of ties, men's ties. There's just so many things that you can do. Oh, there's a pretty one right there. Well, all of them's beautiful. All of them beautiful. And also, I want to thank y'all for all the Christmas cards you've sent me. I've had so many wonderful cards. Here's the other side of the tree. Somebody sent a George and me on this one. And there's a Fairhope, Alabama. A mixer. Here's an angel with a tie. See, they took that small end of that tie and made a little angel out of it. Isn't that cute? And there's some more down there. So I'm sure you'll see one that you've sent, unless I mean, it's on here somewhere, I can tell you that. It's on here somewhere. So anyway, and y'all saw my bows. I put all those outside. All those pretty bows that I got, I put those outside. And somebody sent me this the other day. Let me show you this one. It's a bell, a door pull thing. Look here. Isn't that pretty? So I've got it sitting on the handle on the door. Then if somebody comes in, then I can hear it. All right, well, that's about it on the Christmas decorations, I think. There's lots of pictures that are crooked. I hate crooked pictures, don't y'all? I like them to be straight. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be back in a little while, and we'll get out the meatloaf, and we'll cook some cornbread. All right, y'all, the kale is done, so I've got it on low right now. I've had to put it on another aisle because we're going to make some hush puppies. And somebody asked me one time, what is a hush puppy? It's a cornbread that when the dogs are barking and carrying on, you just throw about a piece of cornbread and say, hush puppy. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just telling you that. I don't know why they're named that. Listen, hush puppies are not just for fish. And they are good. It's a good kind of cornbread with a lot of stuff. So I'm going to teach you how to make it today. I've taught you before. I'm only going to make a few. Normally I'd use a whole onion, but this time I'm going to use a half an onion because it's just me, and maybe Hannah will come over. But other than that, that's it. And so then I usually use just a regular yellow or white onion. I don't have one. I don't have one. So what did I always say? Use what you got. So I'm going to cut off the end. And this is important, what I fixed to show y'all, okay? It's important. Once you cut off both ends, you sit it down. You cut it in half. I'm going to save that half. Then I'm going to peel this half a little bit, get this old hard part off. And then when you're making a hush puppy, you do not chop them up. They look like little critters, little creatures. When you do them this way, and they're better. They're better. I've been thinking about going to some restaurants and doing them for a living to taste them. All right, so you've got your half an onion. What you're going to do is cut thin slices. As thin as you can cut them, like that. Just thin slices. All right. See, that's easy to do. You're not going to cut them again. They're going to go in your mixture just like this, okay? Now, I'm fixing to get out some cornmeal. I'm going to use White Lily self-rising cornmeal. You want to get self-rising, okay? That piece, I'm going to have to save it with the other one. All right, so this is how it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is crumble them up into long skinnies. Like that. That's how you want them. Now, that was fast. It was easy. Now we're going to put in some cornmeal. I'm going to measure for you today. Because I don't measure. I look at consistency. That's what I look at. All right. So let me get out a measuring cup. And, all right, let's start with a cup of cornmeal. Somebody asked me the other day what these jars are. These are Lance jars. They're antiques. They are, cookies came in them, and crackers and stuff like that. Lance cookie jars. This is self-rising cornmeal. That right there. Somebody else asked me what all was in all these jars. Well, I'll tell you. Here's what you got. You've got sugar, cornmeal, plain flour, which is your all-purpose white lily, self-rising flour. See how I got my little thing right in there that says white lily? Powdered sugar. Oh, excuse me, I turned this wrong. Powdered sugar. I got y'all sweet tea in here and crackers and stuff and the same in that one. I don't have the tops for these. I can't find them. So I've just got, this is a glass top. I think it belongs on a Tom's Peanuts. And that goes on a candy dish. I don't have all the tops. You get them at antique stores. Somebody said they're remaking them. Like, not the old ones, but kind of fake ones. I mean, not fake ones, but, you know, not new ones. All right, so I've got a cup of cornmeal. I'm going to put in a half a cup of self-rising flour. And y'all, what this is for is to bind it together so it won't float out somewhere. That's not self-rising. Sorry. Here it is. Self-rising flour. I'm going to put just about a half a cup or fourth a cup or something. I'm not putting much. Let's see what it is. I put a fourth of a cup. That's enough. So I've got a cup of cornmeal and a fourth of a cup of flour. The flour helps bind it together. You put it in there. Now, is that easy so far? Now we're going to add our buttermilk. And I am not measuring this. I'm going to show you the consistency. So you want buttermilk. You want this to be kind of thick. You don't want it soupy. Because you're going to be putting it in this hot grease over here. It's getting hot. And you want it to stick together. So only put a little bit in at a time. You'll get it figured out. I'm going to show you how it looks. You can do this. It is a quick cornbread for nighttime. And y'all, I do clean my grease. I drain it off into a bowl. Real easy. And all that yuck that's on the bottom, you know, crumblies and stuff like that, I throw that in the trash can. So, all right, it's still a little bit dry. Let me put just a little bit more. Just take your time with putting your buttermilk in, and you'll get it right, okay? All right, that looks about right. Let me see. Yes, that's good. All right, here you go. That's what it's supposed to look like. See, it's kind of thick, but it's all wet. See there? All right, so now we're going to come over here. I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to use 2 spoons, and we're going to fry our cornbread. Okay, y'all, our grease is hot. You know how I know? I'm testing one. So just put your paper towel in a plate. Get it back out there out of the way. Now I'm going to show you how to put it in there. Okay, let me turn this one. All right, so I've got it on about number 7 right now. So what you do is you just scoop in here like this and get you some of that out and then push it off with the other spoon. We are not balling it up. In other words, sometimes it looks like this with your onions hanging out. It's perfectly fine. Put them on there like that. Like this. That test one I've got, it needs to come out. Wait a minute. Whoops, come here, boy. See that? That was a test run. Now remember, when you deep fat fry, you don't get as much grease because it's frying quick and you're getting it out. All right, that's all I'm gonna put in there. We've got plenty in there. Turn them over. See how they look like little animals, little critters? Look like little sea critters, don't they? Okay, we'll take these up. See, it doesn't take long to cook them. See, look at that. With any cute, what does that look like? Looks like an octopus. The kids always enjoy. Look at that one. Looks like a crab. It's quick. It's easy. If you want some quick cornbread, you know, it takes the oven cornbread just a little bit longer to cook. But this kind, it doesn't take long. Now look how many this is making. It's making a whole bunch. And I hadn't even finished yet. See there? Let's do another little skillet of them. Don't make them too big, because you want them to get done on the inside. Just get your little scoop like that and put it in there. Just like that. So that must be probably 24 to 30 hush puppies just with that one little cup of flour, cup of cornmeal and some flour. All right, that's it. Well, I say it's it. There's another. I can get one more out of there. All right. Let's turn these over like we need to. Take them out as we need to. And here's our good kale we're going to fix to eat in just a minute. And there's two that's ready. I think I'll put down another paper towel on top of that to catch the grease from the ones I'm putting on now. I've got a piece of meatloaf over there in the microwave. I got it out of the refrigerator. It was leftover. It'll be good with this kale. Remember now, if you want to continue to keep watching me, you're going to have to say something in the comments. You've got to do it. To be able to see who you want to see, you've got to comment. And then we'll pop up all the time. So, you don't have to say much. You can say good morning or hallelujah or just one word. All right, now then, let's take this. You always want to move your grease as soon as you finish. We'll move it backwards a little bit. I'll just move it to this chop block right now. All right, I'm going to show you this, and then we're fixing to fix our plate. See? Now, you got it all under here, too. I just put that on top of it to keep it from getting greased so bad. Y'all, this is so good. My William can eat that whole pan of that stuff. He loves hush puppies. It's in one of the recipe books. I can't remember if I put my first one or my second one. I don't even remember. Of course, I don't use the recipe book for this because I already know how. Let me get my meat though. Okay, y'all, let's help our plate. Here's our greens, our good kale. Oh, and by the way, what I did is I took a butcher knife and a fork and cut these up after I put them in here, okay? So they wouldn't be whole leaves. Here's my leftover meatloaf from Sunday. Here's my, you know, I've never eaten kale pot liquor. I might have to try that tonight with this leftover juice here I got in it. All right, there's my kale. Now I'm going to put a few hush puppies on here. Like that. Now, That is a good meal, y'all. I'm sorry you can't have any of it. The Lord provides good food for us. Quit buying boxed foods, canned foods. Make your own. Get you some meat and some onion and bell pepper and tomato salts. That was canned. And make you a meatloaf and your kale. Y'all can grow that in your flower beds. And then these hush puppies, you just so good. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.